Some questions do not want to be answered. They want to trap you. They look simple for about 3 seconds, and then suddenly your brain is standing in the middle of the room like, wait, who gave the furniture permission to move? That is a paradox. A question that follows the rules until the rules start fighting each other. Today we are opening the first file. 5 paradoxes that make reality feel broken. First, the grandfather paradox. Imagine you build a time machine. You go back into the past and stop your grandfather from ever having children. That means your parents are never born, which means you are never born, which means you never build the time machine, which means you never go back, which means your grandfather is fine, which means your parents are born, which means you are born, which means you can go back and stop him. Which means, the timeline just folded like a cheap chair. This paradox is not really about your grandfather. Poor man is just trying to exist. It's about cause and effect. Normally, cause comes first, effect comes after. You drop a glass, it breaks. You do not hear the glass break. Then politely decide to drop it afterward. But time travel to the past messes with that order. If your action in the past removes the reason you were able to act, then reality gets stuck in a loop. Some stories solve this by saying the past cannot be changed. You try to stop the event, but somehow you accidentally cause it. Very annoying, I know. Very universe coded. Other stories say changing the past creates a new timeline. So, your original timeline survives, but now there is a branch where things happen differently. That sounds cleaner until you realize time has become a stressed out family tree. And the third possibility is simple. Maybe traveling backward in time is impossible. Not as fun, but definitely less paperwork. The grandfather paradox asks one question. If reality has an undo button, can you undo the hand that pressed it? Now, coming to the next paradox, the Bootstrap Paradox. This one is quieter but somehow creepier. Imagine your future self appears one night and gives you a book. She says, you wrote this. Publish it. So you do. The book becomes famous. Years later, you get a time machine, take the same book, go back, give it to your younger self. So who wrote the book? You did not write it. You received it. Future you did not write it either. She received it when she was younger. The book has no first draft, no author, no messy notebook, no caffeine-fueled breakdown over chapter 7. It just exists in a loop. This is the Bootstrap Paradox. Something exists because it was sent back in time, but it was only sent back because it already existed. It can be a book, a song, a formula, a warning, a machine design, even a joke. Imagine Beethoven travels to a future, hears Beethoven's music, writes it down, goes back and composes it. Who created the music? Do not look at me. I am also uncomfortable. This paradox is strange because we expect things to have origins. Every idea came from somewhere. Every invention had a first version. Every song had a first person humming it badly in the shower. But the Bootstrap Paradox removes the beginning. It gives you a thing with a history, but no birth. A story that writes itself. A fact with no discoverer. A cause with no first cause. And that is why it feels so wrong. Because if information can exist without being created, then time travel is not just moving things around. It is like smuggling orphan ideas into reality. Now, the third paradox is the liar paradox. This one does not need a time machine. It does not need a hotel. It does not need math. It just needs one sentence. This sentence is false. That is it. Tiny sentence, huge problem. If the sentence is true, then what it says is correct. But it says it is false. So, if it is true, it is false. But if it is false, then it is not false, which means it is true, which means it is false, which means it is true, which means your brain entered a revolving door and cannot find the exit. This is the liar paradox. It works because sentence talks about itself. Normally, the sentence points outward. The sky is blue. I left my keys on the table. I'm going to sleep early tonight. The last one is fiction, but emotionally brave. The liar sentence points inwards. If you ask to judge its truth, but every answer flips into the opposite answer. Call it true, it becomes false. Call it false, it becomes true. It's like trying to catch your own reflection by surprise. The liar paradox matters because so much of our world depends on statements being true or false. Rules, promises, contracts, math, instructions. Comments online from people who definitely did not read the article. We rely on language behaving, but this one sentence refuses to behave. It shows that truth can get weird when a statement folds back on itself. The wild part is how small the trap is. 5 words. No explosions, no portals, no dramatic music. Just a sentence sitting there calmly breaking logic. The next one. Hilbert's Hotel. Now, we entered infinity, which is where normal common sense goes to take a long nap. Imagine a hotel with infinitely many rooms. Room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4, and it keeps going on forever. Every room is occupied. The hotel is full. Then one new guest arrives. It's a normal hotel. The manager says, "Sorry, no rooms." In Hilbert's Hotel, the manager says, "Absolutely, give me 1 second." Then the guest in room 1 moves to room 2. Room 2 moves to room 3. Room 3 moves to room 4. Everyone moves up by 1. Now, room 1 is empty. The hotel was full, but it still made space. That already feels illegal. But now imagine an infinite bus arrives with infinite many guests. The hotel is still full. Every room is occupied. The manager says no problem. Everyone moves to double their room number. Room 1 to room 2. Room 2 moves to room 4. Room 3 moves to room 6. Room 4 moves to room 8. Now every odd number room is empty. Room 1, room 3, room 5, room 7, forever. So the infinite bus can move into the odd rooms. A full hotel just accepted infinite many more guests. At this point, the manager deserves either a Nobel Prize or a wellness check. Hilbert's Hotel shows that infinity is not just a very large number. Infinity is just a different kind of thing. With finite numbers, full means full. If a hotel has 100 rooms and all 100 are taken, that is it. But infinity does not behave like that. You can add 1 to infinity and still have infinity. You can even add infinitely many more and still arrange the rooms. The problem is not math. The problem is our intuition. Human brains evolved for small piles. 5 berries, 10 people. 1 missing charger that was definitely just there. We understand some more and too many. But infinity is not too many. Infinity is endless. No last room. No final number. No edge where reality says, okay, that is enough. Hilbert Hotel makes infinity feel physical. It turns a mathematical idea into a frontist nightmare. And the lesson is simple. Infinity does not care about your feelings. Now, for the fifth. This is the Ship of Theseus. This one is about identity. Imagine an old wooden ship. Over time, one plank rots, so people replace it. Then another plank. Then the sail. Then the mast. Then the deck. Years pass. Every single original piece is replaced. The ship has the same name. It looks similar. It has the same history. People still call it the Ship of Theseus. But is it? If none of the original pieces remain, is it still the same ship? Now make it worse. Someone saves all the old pieces, every plank, every nail, every rope. Then they rebuild those old parts into another ship. Now there are two ships. One has continuous history, the other one has original material. Which one is the real Ship of Theseus? The one that kept going or the one that made the original pieces? This paradox works because it is not actually about a ship, it's about you. Your body changes, your cells change, your face changes, your memories change, your beliefs change, your personality changes. Even your idea of a fun night changes. At some point, staying home becomes not a backup plan, but the dream. So, are you the same person you were 10 years ago? You have the same name, some of the same memories, maybe the same laugh, maybe the same habit of opening the fridge like new information has arrived. But you're not exactly the same. So what makes you you? Is it your body, your memories, your personality, your story? The fact that yesterday you became today you without a clean break. The Ship of Theseus does not give one easy answer. It makes you choose what identity means. If identity is about material, then rebuild the material with the old part matters. If identity is about continuity, then the repaired ship matters. If identity is about story, then maybe identity is not something objects carry. Maybe it's something we recognize. A pattern continuing through change. A song is not one note. A river is not one drop of water. A flame is not the same particle every second. And yet we still name them. We still say that is the same song. That is the same river. That is the same flame. Maybe people are like that too, not frozen objects. Living patterns. Stories that keep updating without changing the title. And maybe that is beautiful or terrifying, possibly both. So, those are the 5 paradoxes. A traveler who erases the reason they traveled, a book with no author, a sentence that destroys its own truth, a hotel that is full but still has room, a ship that survives by losing every part of itself. And they all do the same thing. They take ideas we use every day, cause, origin, truth, infinity, identity, and they press on them until something cracks. Maybe paradoxes do not break reality. Maybe they show us where our understanding was too small. Because reality might be fine, it might be our labels that are struggling. We say before, we say true, we say same, we say full, we say me. And most of the time, those words work. Then a paradox arrives and says, are you sure? Are you really sure? So here is the question. Which one bothers you the most? The time traveler who deletes themselves, the book that writes itself, the sentence that cannot be true or false, the infinite hotel that never fills up, or the ship that asks whether change destroys identity. But once a paradox gets into your head, it does not really leave. It just sits there, waiting for you to think you understand reality again.